Hey everyone, it's Blix here. So, in today's video, we're talking about the Balisong community. Now, it can be toxic, don't get me wrong, it can be very toxic, and people say like, oh my gosh, you have a clone, you're such a bad person. I almost bought a clone, okay? So does that make me a bad person? Absolutely not. I don't have very much money. Like, of course my family is fine, we're doing fine. No, I think that's sending the wrong message. Me personally, I have a job, but I don't have money to spend willy-nilly on stuff, but I do at the same time, if that makes any sense. Long story short, I'm saving for a house, because I want to move out when I'm like, I don't know, 20 probably. I'm 18 now, so I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind is kind of, yeah. So, in today's video, like I said, we're going to talk about the Balisong community, and basically, I personally feel like the Balisong community can be very, very toxic, and it is very toxic. Now, for the reason I just explained, if you go on AliExpress to buy a Kraken clone or a Squid Trainer clone, I don't even know if they make those, but let's say you do, people will hate you for it, and it's not really something that I agree with, because let's say you're like me. Well, I'm 18, but let's say you're like 13, 14, and you don't have a job, and you don't get very much money on like a weekly basis, like someone who does have a job. You get Christmas money and birthday money, that kind of stuff. So, Balisongs, they can cost anywhere from $100 to $300. Right, the Kraken costs $300. Actually, I don't know if it's the Kraken or the Kraken, but one of them costs $300. I know that for a fact. Now this, the Squid Trainer, costs about $150 plus tax and shipping, which adds up to almost about $200. So, yeah, Balisongs, they're not cheap. Like, especially the ones with no tap. Like, mine doesn't have tap at all, and it has barely any play. I don't even know if you would call this play, but yeah, it doesn't move very much. So, yeah, Balisongs are not very cheap at all, especially if you get them on like Glider Co. or Squid Industries, or something like that. Which is why I personally like AliExpress. AliExpress has a bunch of good clones, and it's pretty much just eBay for China, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of wet out here. I don't want to drop my Balisong left and right. So, let's say you're about 13, 14, and you don't have them, like, you only have maybe $200 that you only get, like, maybe every year, like all in all. Would you rather spend all that $200 on a Kraken or a Squid Trainer like this one, or would you rather spend it on like at least like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 trainers that are pretty much exactly identical to this, called clones, like I just said, for like literally a quarter of the price. Like literally, you can get a Kraken off of Squid Industries for like $200, and then you can get it on AliExpress for literally $40. Like I can talk. I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm trying to say is you can get a Kraken on Squid Industries for like $200, while on AliExpress they cost probably about $30, $40, maybe even $20, right? Same thing with the Nautilus. Those things cost $300, and they're not cheap at all. So, my opinion on clones, if you don't have as much money, you know what? Buy a clone. Please do it. Like, I personally tell you, Splix approves. Buy a clone. Screw what the Balisong community tells you. No one gives a crap what their opinion, except their opinion is very good sometimes. But when it comes to clones and people younger than probably, I would say 16, screw them. Okay, don't even pay attention to them when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's just my opinion. Now, if you are on YouTube and you have probably 50k plus subs, I'm probably gonna listen to you. You guys do know what the frick you're talking about. So buy a clone. Another thing is, like the second thing I guess, other than buying a clone and Balisong community being toxic and all, I was gonna say something, but I'll say that here in just a second. People will just judge you for what you have. Not even a clone, like they'll just judge you for what you have. Like I have a Balisong, I have Squid Trainer, Squiddy U, a lab blade that I got from my dad when he was a little child, and I would say, oh yeah, a Boker Balisong, and I think one more. I don't know for sure. Oh yeah, my Amazon training, and I'll show you guys that soon. So, I guess people could make fun of me if they saw my Balisong collection, but I feel like at least 80% of the Balisong community starts off with a little starter, like a little $6 starter from Amazon or something like that. And if you don't, that's great. But if you do, that's totally understandable. Like, I think the Balisong community would understand that. So, yeah. And other thing that I was going to say earlier, but I went on to what I just said. I would say you will not run into very many flippers, like Balisong flippers, like in the real world, right? Like, I work a part-time job, and I have school to do still, so I can't really, I can't work full-time, which I don't want to work full-time where I'm working right now. But I was working a drive-through. I was working the window, drive-through, whatever you want to call it. And one of my very first customers was a Balisong flipper, right? I saw, you know who you are, by the way. If you know who you are, he was in, I don't know why he was in, anyway, but he basically had it was a non-ink series. It was a squid trainer. It was red and it had the dual tone silver, whatever you call it, just sitting on his lap. And I was like, yo, you Balisong flipper? And he was like, yeah. He showed me a bunch of these, not a bunch, but he showed me his live blade, or one of his live blades. I tested him with it because I was sticking out the window, and he opened it and showed it to me. Asked me if I wanted to hold it, and I didn't do anything. I didn't flip or anything like that. I just held it like this, and I said, "Wow, that's awesome." I didn't even close it. Just gave it back to him because if you hang me Balisong in public, I'm probably. It depends who you are, but in my opinion, I will trust you because there's not many flippers out there. Just my phone. There's not many flippers out there, and yeah, that's like the first guy I've ever seen in like my 6 to 8 to 9 months of Balisong flipping, which was an amazing experience to be able to like talk to someone about Balisongs. Now, of course, I didn't last for too long. Lasted for probably 3 to 5 minutes because again, it was a drive-through. There's other people waiting, you know, but that was really cool to meet a Balisong flipper in public. He was probably 20, 30, I don't know. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say about the Balisong community. Just like I said in the beginning of the video, don't make fun of someone for having a clone, right? Like, if you can clearly tell that they're younger than 16, please, like, what the frick is wrong with you? Like, stop making fun of them for having a clone. Because I will buy a clone, and with full respect. Like, I fully respect Squid Industries, except for the ridiculous prices. But I do respect Squid Industries, right? But I'm not gonna spend $200 on a knife like this, right? Because that's not who I want. That's not who I am. But I might. But chances are, I'm gonna try to find a clone. Now, AliExpress, I get it from China. They take forever to ship. I ordered my Falcon by the One, like I mentioned in my other video, about a week ago from, I think yesterday actually, and it just now landed in Los Angeles. Well, not just now, but like it did it a few hours ago. It landed today. That's all I'll say. And I am okay with it. Like, then again, it is from China, so shipping is gonna take forever. But you know, that's just something that you're gonna live with if you order something from China. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the Balisong community. Again, it can be toxic, so don't listen to someone. Just do whatever you want, please. Now, if you have the money, then try to buy one, like a actual thing. But if you don't want to, that's totally up to you. I'm not gonna question you to buy a clone. So yeah, I know I've said all I have to say, and I keep going on rants. So I'm in the video before I get on a worse rant. So yeah, let's do a quick around behind the 8 ball to finish up the video, and then yeah, see behind the 8 ball. Of course, I'm failing it because I have a camera out. You know. Let's see here. Oh man, I need to download the ice material. Hold on, let me try to do this real quick. Almost. Okay, one more time and then whatever happens in the video. Hey, there we go. Nice. Well, guys, yep, that's the video, and I'll see you in the next video. And like I said in the beginning, well, the first video, like Rainer from Balisong Clipping always does, yeet.